Hey, I'm Mechanical Engineer, and this is my new and improved Battlebot armor. If you guys remember, I made a few 1-pound Battlebot videos a few months ago. In the videos, I was experimenting with different ideas, using parts that weren't the best, and I just was not satisfied with how the robot was turning out. So I took a little bit of a break to rethink and design the robot, buy better parts, and basically just rebuild the whole robot from the ground up. So today's video, how to build armor for 1-pound Battlebot, will be the first in a 1-pound Battlebot restart series. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before building any Battlebot, it is always best to take all the parts and pieces that will make up the guts of your robot and position them on the table in the configuration that you'll want them to be in inside the robot. We do this because this is the best and really only way to find out what shape and size we need our robot to be. There's nothing worse than putting a lot of time and energy into a Battlebot armor just to find out it's too big or even worse, too small. So this is the perfect time to play around with the different components and find the perfect configuration for your robot. Once I was satisfied with the layout of mine, I took very detailed measurements and then began to cut out side panels from Lexan plastic, like these. Here we have the base, front, back, and sides. I'll cut out the top later. Now it's time to attach it all together. To do this, I'll use 4 pine wood pieces, 2 straight posts for the back corners, and 2 angled posts for the front corners. Now this is about the time when people ask me why I'm using pine for the 4 posts instead of a heavy duty plastic. And the answer to that is just simply I have yet to find a plastic that is as strong while at the same time as lightweight as this pine. For instance, this Lexan block is 13 grams, whereas this pine block that's actually a little bit bigger is only 5. Now of course, yes, Lexan is stronger and more durable than pine, but with that being said, pine is plenty strong enough to handle what I'm asking it to do. So now we can go ahead and begin to crazy glue all of the side panels onto our pine wood corner supports. And it's not a huge deal, but I like to make sure that my pine supports are about 1 Lexan sheet shorter than the sides. That way, once it's all done, you'll have a little bit of a recess for the top of the robot to slide into. Like this. Now once everything is firmly attached to the corner post, we're going to want to go through with the glue one last time and make sure all the side panels are fused together as well. And the way I like to do this is to put the crazy glue inside the Battlebot and glue along all of the edges. Next, we're going to want to cut out the top of the robot, then drill screw holes into each of the 4 posts to hold it in place. Like this. And of course, the reason why we screwed the top on instead of gluing it on like the rest of the Battlebot is so we can take off the top and work on the inside of the robot. Now after taking out the 4 top screws, I'm going to go ahead and give everything a nice solid coat of spray paint. And here it is after the paint has had a chance to dry. If you've seen my original How to Build a 1-Pound Battlebot armor, you've probably noticed a few key differences by now between the original armor and this armor. First off, my new armor uses a lot less pine than my original armor does, which gives me more space and makes the whole bot stronger overall. And secondly, the new armor is glued together so it's one solid piece, whereas the old armor was bolted together. And in case you're wondering, the reason why I bolted this one together is because I was thinking if you damage one piece, you could just unscrew it and pop back on a new one. But after working with it for quite a bit, it just turned out that that was not the most practical thing to do. Because it is very difficult to make replacement side pieces of these. Because if you cut or drill a hole just a fraction of an inch off, the whole robot will twist and distort when you put it together. Then you have the whole problem of the screws. The screws add unnecessary weight, they stick out, plus they don't even hold it all together that well. The crazy glue we use for the new armor does a far superior job of holding it all together. The pine will actually crack before it lets go of the Lexan. And plus, at the end of the day, it is just a whole lot easier to build one backup frame in case this one breaks, because then you can move all these components into the new frame, than it is to cut out a bunch of different side panels, try to match up holes and bolt it back together if it ever breaks. However, with that being said, I believe that this armor design is brilliant for larger robots, but I just don't think it's practical nor necessary for 1-pound robots. For 1-pound robots, I truly believe this is a much better route to go. And lastly, in case you were wondering, the new armor weighs in at 130 grams, approximately 15 or 20 grams less than the last armor. And there you have it, my new and improved Battlebot armor. I hope you guys are as excited about this new Battlebot series as I am. And although I might not post videos about the Battlebot every single week, there will not be huge gaps in between them like there have been in the past. But hey, thank you so much for you guys watching. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next Friday.
Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.